This video will show the force calibration procedure for the 820MO organ bath system. The calibrations are necessary as the transducers really are the most important part of the system. The transducers will record and export the forces generated by your tissues during the experiment, so keeping them in top shape will give you the best data. DMT recommends that you calibrate at least once a month, but doing it more often is only going to help. You should do the calibrations under experimental conditions, meaning you have the chambers warmed to 37 degrees Celsius or whatever your experimental temperatures will be. You should also have the proper volume of water or buffer in your chambers. You can also do the calibrations at room temperature. However, you should not perform the calibration during the warming period. Regardless of calibrating the pins or the clamps, you will need to use the force calibration kit that came with your system. We will start with the pin setup for the calibration. You will go into the settings menu on the touchscreen and go to force calibration. We will start with channel 1, highlight that and select enter. The menu tells you that this is a 6-step process, but step 1 just says to follow the procedure in the manual. However, instructions will be provided on the touchscreen. Step 2 asks you to place the calibration bridge and T-balance on the myograph chamber. The calibration bridge has feet, but these feet just go above the chamber. They do not rest on the side of the chamber. So place the bridge over the chamber and place the T-balance with the small plate in the grooves on the bridge. You need to make sure that the T-balance drops in behind the pin that is closest to the force transducer. You can then move the calibration bridge until you are almost touching the back of that pin. The final position of the T-balance should be behind the pin that's attached to the force transducer. It should be in the middle of this pin, but it should not be touching it. Once you have the bridge and T-balance in place, select Next Step. This will ask you to turn on the heat and wait until it is stable. This has been on for 20 minutes, so we can proceed to the next step. Step 4 asks you to make sure that your force transducer is not subjected to any force and is giving a stable reading. If you see this number going back and forth between two numbers, that's all right. You just do not want it drifting in one direction. There's a good chance the T-balance is resting on the pin if this is drifting. If this is giving a stable reading, select Next Step. Step 5 asks you to place the 2-gram weight on the T-balance. You will drop this into the back pan on the T-balance, which will kick the pin forward and engage the mount. You should give this approximately 10 seconds to stabilize before going to the final step. After this reading is stable, select Next Step, and it should be approximately 9.81. If this is the case, select Next Step to finalize the calibration. To show the calibration for the clamp mounts, we will be going to channel 3. So we will highlight chamber 3 and select Enter. Now this is the same process, the only difference will be where we place the calibration bridge and T-balance. So we can go to Next Step. Step 2 asks us to place the calibration bridge and T-balance. For the clamp mounts, the final position of the T-balance should be dropped behind the clamp on the left side. Again, it should not be touching the mount before you proceed with the calibration. Once you have the calibration bridge and T-balance in place, select Next Step. Again, our temperature is on and has been for 20 minutes. Next Step. Again, we want to make sure that our force is not drifting in any direction. We are seeing a stable reading. So we can select Next Step. Now we are asked to add the 2-gram weight. Make sure you place it in the back pan to kick the T-balance forward. After giving it 10 seconds to stabilize, select Next Step. Again, it should be approximately 9.81. If it's within the range of 0.1 millinewtons, you can select Next Step. This will complete the calibration. For more information on the 820MO system, please refer to the DMT website or additional resource videos.